Speaking about, the masks are coming off, being unfiltered. We've got to talk about Davechappelle, TheCloser, the final installment on his Netflix deal. Thoughts? Don't go to the comedian straight away.
Yeah, I was like,
I'll let you guys take this because I've only seen half of it.
Cheers, mate.
fair enough.
I ain't finished it.
Yeah, it was. What if Travis didn't make it today? What if he was held up and just made
Hey man, like,
would have made it work?
Points. Yeah, man, there's points.
Like,
like Travis, so I could turn things around. You get me?
Cool. I hear you still. I'll start off. An hour, just over an hour.
Yeah,
just over an hour. It flew by. It definitely didn't feel like an hour.
Yeah.
One observation: Dave clearly likes McQueen's. That's his go-to shoe of choice.
Orthopedic drip, innit?
Yeah, he definitely likes McQueen's.
Do you say
Orthopedic Stan Smiths.
Fam. Yeah. And it makes Donnie's taller, innit?
Cheers. Yeah, they different small observations, I like the rebranding with the whole C thing and that and the chains and that. Cool. One thing it's weird, it's like Dave for me, I don't know about everyone else in the room, is definitely one of the GOATs, if not the GOAT for me. I have like a personal favourite, which is obviously Bernie Mac. That's just from like my personals, but the GOAT is obviously Chappelle.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of this material in the last stand-up or two, innit, with regards to the LGBTQ community, innit.
Okay.
We get to the end of the special. I understand why my man went with this, innit, because his friend passed away, she committed suicide, and it felt like he took it very hard, very personal, because he's someone that supported him off in terms of someone from that community, a trans person, got a lot of backlash, passed away, and this is kind of his response to that community. But I felt like a little bit of times he's turning into that old man in the barbershop, which I don't want my man. Like, I have you in a certain place, which you can never rub out, like, because of who you are. But I don't want people to start looking at you as that guy that is kind of just talking at us and not to us. It's not a conversation, That was the only thing where I was just like, but in terms of comedic value, bro, the Space Jews joke, I'm sorry, I found it funny, man, because you show that you're gonna have conversation about everybody.
I hear you.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to justify what you found funny.
No, in this day and age, you do. He's got a comedic license. Them men are cool. I'm just a humble podcaster.
Well, like, you could even say that comedians are under threat with their comedic license.
They are,
because of what they can and cannot say. Like, I've seen comedians putting out disclaimers that, like, yo, like, I'm a comedian, if you're offended, you shouldn't be here. That on that kind of energy. So I don't know what it's like for you.
To me, it's funny because a lot of people have cancel culture so confused. Like, a lot of people will forget that in order to cancel someone, you actually have to be supporting them in the first place.
You've got to be subscribed, bro.
Yeah.
If you don't pay towards anything that happens, how the hell will you cancel this person?
It's true.
Do you know what I mean? So when it's like there's this mad backlash in like a social media, for example, and it's just like, oh, get this guy the hell out of here. You start looking at it, it's like, all right, you're not that powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think what he's doing here, like, you go back to the last Dave Chappelle special. How does he start it? He comes out and he starts basically saying, you the guys I don't like. He goes straight at cancel culture. So the fact that cancel culture killed a friend of his is now you're starting to see Dave come with a tone that's like, it's almost like it's not stand up anymore.
Right.
And it's like it's just beef. Like, I'm just on smoke for you, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, that's the energy that Dave is on right now. And the thing about Dave is that he is a free entertainer. Nothing has him over a barrel. Do you know what I mean? You can see certain people have certain political connects where it's like, if that phone rings and they say this energy has to switch. Nobody can be that for Dave.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? From when you're sticking on Comedy Central for the fact they had you on a bad contract all those years ago, bruv, like, he's in a very different space. So he is flapping his wings in a very different way because it's like, one, I'm the only one that can do this. So it's almost like he's taking responsibility by saying, I'm the only one that should do this. So I'll do this until the needle moves.
I feel it's a dangerous place to be in because it's like making your point and then going past that. And I feel
very dangerous.
For some people, they'll feel like he did that in this one, going past the point.
Yeah.
Other people, they might feel like this possibly could be the start. And if the good thing is he's saying, if it is true that this is last from for a while and he's never speaking about this community again, and we can just get back to the funnies,
well,
I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Because that's why I don't want that to rub him out. And it is also really hard when, like, it's obviously this conversation is funny because it's like, who we had last week in this room obviously, and in that the conversation we're having, I don't want to sit with people from that community, but then also be over here, and I can't ignore those loud cries.
Yeah,
because it's not everybody that's reaching, and people that are just trying to tear him down. Some people feel like they've got justified reasons to be upset.
Oh yeah,
And
absolutely.
I don't feel like you can just
No, that's
No,
real.
we
take
can't
that off the
diminish that.
table.
We can't diminish
that's
that.
100% real, and I think it's one of those things where it's like, he's speaking on a community that's not his lived experience, and people living that experience, you know, will get triggered by certain things. I think what he's trying to encourage with his take on how he approaches stand-up, just my guesstimation, is that he's very much like, take your feelings out of it and listen to the facts I'm making. Listen to the facts and the points I'm making, because he's very fact-based with how he talks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But it's hard to hear certain things when it's so close to the bone.
Right.
If a white guy stood up in this room right now and started telling us about blackness, and he was 85% on the money, but that 15%, bruv, we're not having that.
I'll laugh
bro.
and I'll fish you up after.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's like, you'd be like, nah, you can't tell me that and be
Yeah.
wrong. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like,
But what's mad about it is that the underlying thing you said is the overwhelming majority of that content, my man's spot on though.
that's what I'm
But it's
saying.
just that you can't convey the message, and that's where I think the issue is like, maybe my man is right, but you can't be the one to say it.
Thing is, if you look at some of the points he's making, it's like, it's just one of those points that people are scared to make. Do you know what I mean? So when he starts, like the DaBaby, for example,
I thought that was a bit wide of the mark though, because
the
DaBaby's
nuance of
the nuance is
the
good,
baby
but like
situation.
the
You went
example.
straight in with that.
Okay,
though.
this is my issue with it. So, like, Dave is very good with how he words stuff, innit? But I think where he slipped out, I think people didn't clock is, he's literally says a lot of the LGBTQ community don't know DaBaby's history. So you've already fucked up the punchline, because they don't know this guy's history. They don't know what he's about. Number two, him killing a person wasn't a cold-blooded murder. He was in Walmart with his daughter. Donnie tried to attack him, and it's self-defense. In America, they give you a gold medal for that. Like,
they sell guns in Walmart.
You might become the
You can
mayor
buy a
of,
gun in Walmart.
of that town. Like, he did. If anyone's going to be able to appeal to the whites of that, like the Confederate boys and
NRA.
that stand your ground stuff, they love all that. That's a beautiful American story. That's how they move out of there. So using that for example of we welcome people that kill people, but then also it's not really at the LGBTQ community. It's more at the hip hop black community. We love people that live their raps. DaBaby really killed someone. So
Yeah.
I think for me, he was wide of the mark a little bit with that one.
This is why I was saying the nuance wasn't there when you give it the cold facts. And I say he deals with facts.
Yeah.
So saying it like that, you go, raw. So you can kill a black person and da.
Yeah.
But like I said, the
Yeah, I see
nuance
where he was trying to
missed.
take it.
Yeah, the nuance.
But for
was
someone like
kinda
me, I'm
missed.
just like, also because of
But
how
also-
high I hold you,
Yeah.
you shouldn't make that mistake in my opinion.
Yeah.
Find a better example, because that's a Twitter argument. Like, oh look, DaBaby, you can say whatever you want about blacks, but you can't say anything about gays and that, as if they're on black gay people. That's already like I'd use another example really for me. Like you can use a better one. I think it would have hit home more.
Fair enough.
In
I
my
hear you.
opinion, I understood.
Fair
I understood what you're trying to go through,
No.
because it's like
It's a fair
you
point
can
that you're
be, you can be a murderer.
making.
That's a matter of fact. Whereas you said something that people didn't like, and people are really like trying to rub you out
That's
and
your
that.
career.
But then when I start nitpicking it, I'm just like, it doesn't hit for me. But I do understand nuance. But I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that might just me being overly analytical and nitpicking.
Yeah, I
and
mean, like to that audience in particular, I wouldn't imagine them knowing
stuff. It looked like it worked
the
in the room.
babies.
That's the thing.
Do you know what I'm
That's the
saying?
thing.
So
Yeah.
like,
I found out
he
when
probably
said it.
so he probably spoke to that audience with the knowledge, knowing that they're not going to know that, and it's more like a punchline. Oh my gosh, he's killed someone. He's a rapper.
Yeah.
You know, they're just going to believe in that story, and it sort of like aided him in his.
It worked in the bit. It worked.
It worked in the bit.
Yeah, it did work.
Yeah.
It did work.
So no, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, thing is for me, it's like it's one of the ones where it's like Dave has done so much, like through my comedy eyes, to look at Davechappelle. Like I supported him on tour,
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Working with him and seeing him up close after all these years of him being the GOAT, being the guy. We watched the Chappelle show. It's like his GOAT status is cemented for me. But he's also the freedom now. We're watching a free Dave. Like this second chapter of Dave Chappelle's career, from like Netflix special upwards, we're looking at the what freedom looks like. As a
Do you
black
think that
entertainer
this
at the
is
top of his
him?
game.
Like, while he knows that there's a huge bag, he can just have that license to do it, whilst he's earning so much.
Thing is, he does have the license to do it, but only he does right now. Like, you're not gonna find many comics that will try to do the things that Dave does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I feel like, I just watch and I'm just like, raw boy.
Yeah, being very casual.
I think,
Someone of his
he's
stature.
earned it because of the whole turn down the $50 million.
Yeah,
That's why. And people then, you've proven yourself, so you don't need to. It's like, we trust you now, innit? Like, you're the guy that's not gonna just bow to the white man that's gonna give you the dead contract, and that you've shown that you actually don't care about the money. So even though he's being paid very well and on a shitload of money, to a lot of people, it doesn't actually look like it's about the money. Because what it is as well is the people that possibly are maybe homophobic, transphobic, whatever, they will like this type of content. It's like, yeah, Dave, you're giving it to them, even though Dave might not be as far right or left as they are.
Yeah,
Right.
He might just have a bit of critique about how we're interacting with each other, but they now have a voice through him. And then you've got the people that just kind of anti-cancel culture in general, and then people like myself who my default is the funnies. If it's funny, I'm going for it.
Or it could be a super calculated rollout for whatever he's doing. Even like the great timing of his return, it was a rollout to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what he's doing.
The thing is, it's like Dave is a hardcore stand-up purist, like to the full definition of it. Like, he was performing stand-up in all those years when he was absent.
Yeah, he would just pop up somewhere.
Yeah, he would just be somewhere.
Yeah.
Right now, tonight, he's performing in London.
That's someone.
So the special just dropped. He's
back working
again.
Yeah, that's someone that's as big as you are. It's
He
like
stays in his bag.
you're still passionate.
But now will be the time to work, bro. Strike whilst the iron's hot, bro. Like, stay around, bro.
For Dave, the iron is always hot. It never goes. When Davechappelle announces a special, we're watching.
Of course, yeah, of course.
He just
And
has
it's
that.
it's about 5 or 6 in the space of 3 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Even the
It's a
little
lot of
small
content.
YouTube thing that he was doing,
Yeah.
where he's just like in a random place, like, sitting there. Obviously, he's
Early
always
days of
lighting up
COVID,
a
isn't it?
cigarette.
Yeah.
He didn't light up a cigarette.
About the
in this-
George Floyd.
Yeah. In this special, did he?
No
I
cigarette.
didn't see a cigarette.
No cigarette. This one, just McQueen and chains. Love it.
Yeah. He's been chilling with the rappers, bro.
Yeah. What do you think of the whole punching down? Because I think that was a big talking point towards the end. So when he gets into the whole segment about Daphne Dorman, his friend that passed away, the trans comedian, and there's that term about like why there's been such backlash from that community is because you're punching down on someone who is already marginalized. What do you feel about that type of content and that conversation around punching down?
It's an interesting one because in obviously comedy the rules are it's like don't punch down, but because you punch up. Do you know what I mean? You punch up at the establishment, you punch up at different things. The minute you punch down, it's like that's in bad taste.
Easy targets,
So,
basically.
Yeah, exactly. A white guy on stage talking about minorities, like all the stereotypes. Would just be crazy for him to do. Like it won't hit. So what's happening with Dave and in this conversation here? They're jostling for who's higher and who's lower. Do you see what I mean? So when he's talking about certain things, and then it goes back to okay, but you still can switch on white privilege at any moment.
Yeah.
In all of this, so there's that argument, and obviously in that conversation, black trans people, black gay people now like
They're
so
further
now
at the
I'm
back
left
of the
out
queue,
of the
yeah.
conversation. But he's highlighting that they're at the back of the queue. Like when he's talking about Jesse Smollett, his two
Juicy
backup
Smollett, the French painter.
in it, but he's talking about his two dancers.
Yeah.
So it's like
The 2 Nigerian brothers.
yeah,
Everyone forgets about them.
yeah. So it's like you
What
can see
happened
the
to that?
points he's trying.
No one
to
cares,
make.
bro.
What happened to him?
Bro, no one gives a shit. And I said at the time, I remember having a conversation with someone online. yeah.
Has he been casted
It
for
doesn't
anything
matter,
since?
bro. He's got, bro, someone like, was it Lee, what's My Man Empire?
Lee Daniels.
Lee Daniels?
I think
Or
it's Lee Daniels.
Yeah.
Daniels? Yeah. Brother, like, I was having a conversation, person was like, what privilege or leverage does a gay person have in America or in society? Like, this ain't your average gay person. It's someone that's got access, money, is wealthier than your average person, and it's got people that from his community that are in power as well. When this whole thing happened, like, we'll never really know the full truth. But when my man said he was the goo pack, you sure that nigga was lying, bro. Man said I'm the gay 2-pack. A rollout, bro.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Bro, he was trying to get the victim Infinity Stone, bro.
right.
And then us over here as
It just
straight,
didn't add up.
we got flogged in that for not supporting. We
Right.
knew this nigga was lying, bro.
Yeah.
Dave
the
said it as
foresight.
well. The
Yeah,
reason I
yeah.
didn't say anything is because the story was too sexy, bro.
Mm.
Come on, bro. Allow me, man. Goo pack.
Didn't work in his favor at all.
Yeah. Now I think I got the quote. So Daphne Dorman, the trans comedian that Dave references, yeah.
sweet.
So she says, punching down requires you to consider yourself superior to another group. Dave Chappelle doesn't consider himself better than me in any way. He isn't punching up or punching down. He's punching lines. That's his job, and he's a master of his craft. You know, and that's when she obviously started getting a lot of backlash, and you know, in like,
where they were like, "Oh, you're not the spokesperson of this shit."
Yeah, no, she got cyberbullied for that whole day or two, and then she committed suicide 6 days later. I think it is dangerous though, because that's the thing about suicide. You don't know. Someone like that, it's not far fetched that they've had probably loads of demons trying to be who they are. So that could have just been the cause. It could just be that simple. That person just committed suicide because of struggling with identity issues. Yeah. It could have been the dog pile of social media. Apparently, I think she'd lost custody of her child not too long before that. Right. There might have been loads of other things. The work of struggles of being a creative. Who knows, innit? But
it's
it
kind of
gets positioned in the special a little bit as possibly why. Yeah. And I think for some people, they took it as Dave was using, white people go, oh, my black friend, when they're being called out for being racist. Right. Some people felt like it was him leaning into that.
No, I hear you, and it's one of the things where it's like I don't want to be in a position where I'm telling people who live an experience and how to feel. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I would not allow anyone to tell me how to feel about racism. Yeah. So it's like I look at these things and I'm like, it's a complex topic, it's a complex situation. Dave's taking his stance. I'm not going to be out here looking at people who oppose that and want to have a conversation or have a dialogue with Dave and be like, nah, you're chatting rubbish. You've opened the conversation with this. Yeah. And I think that's the energy Dave is on, where it's like, why can't we talk about this?
Is it doing well on Netflix? Is it on charts?
Dave always does well.
It does well, bro.
Yeah.
And it's all over. It's all over.
Is Squid Game still on top, though? Is it still number one?
Oh,
I don't know. I'd have to check the charts. I'm not sure. But I wouldn't surprise me if Dave's not too far behind, bro. Yeah. He always does well in it. So, and the conversation around it it's not going to stop. Like, what I found funny, though, there was a trans employee at Netflix that I think had tweeted out and tried to like storm a meeting, and the person I don't know if they got suspended.
They got
fired then. So it's just kind of ironic that all of his content and then a trans employee got fired off being upset about his stand-up special. So
it's not even funny. It's very mad.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful irony. It's hilarious, bro, because the headline just reads trans employee and Dave Chappelle. It's like you sitting there thinking, did Dave make the call? Yeah. Get rid of that bitch. Do you think he ended the special well?
What do you mean? In what
way? I saw like some talk around like he could have probably ended it maybe 5 or 8 minutes prior. So you see the bit where he's talking about Daphne Dorman and finding out that Daphne had a child, and then setting up the trust fund, and in the conversation that he would have had with Daphne's child and saying, what's the direct quote, man? Because like I think it's so funny what Dave actually said. Some people might not like it. I think I saved it. Let me see. Young lady, I knew your father, and he was a wonderful woman.
Oh, I mean, that's just like. When you got a present, everything's done, and you just put the bow on the top. Like you just want the last little.
Because I feel like if he drops Mike there.
Yeah. Nah, the thing is, I never want to be in a position where I'm like, nah, Dave, you should have done this. Like as a comic, that's mad for me to be talking about what Dave Chappelle should be doing. Yeah. But I didn't feel like anything else was like that's a piece of art. That's how art is, bro.
Because it ended on punching down, didn't it? Don't punch it down my people, innit? Yeah. And that was still a good ending. Yeah, still a good ending.
Do you think this one will be remembered though?
I feel like Sticks and Stones was my favorite.
Right. Like
is Sticks and Stones the one with the Iceberg Slim? Was that equanimity?
Equanimity. I think that's what
I love that small room.
That was tremendous.
I tell that Iceberg Slim story is cold. It's like some of the coldest material, bro. I love Sticks and Stones though.
It's mad because like Dave proper moves the needle when he drops a special. Yeah. Like I can't remember what one of the specials are called, but he's on a stool for the whole thing in a comedy club, right? I think Bird something, and he's in the comedy club and he's on the stool the whole way through, bruv. After that special, hella man wanted to put stools on stage, and he does that thing now where it's like he laughs, bang, and he hits the mic on his leg.
Oh yeah, I've seen Andrew Schultz loves that,
bro. Bear Man adopted that.
Swear.
Yeah.
Man laugh, bang.
Yeah.
I never like looked at like
as a comic. I was,
I wouldn't analyze.
But it's like, okay, cool. I analyze like pods and stuff. So there's some stuff that like maybe the average listener might not jump out to them. Same with like community probably looking at like I can plot the pattern now, innit? Because when someone that big does stuff, people are gonna. It's so hard not to pick up other people's traits, especially when someone's like your idol.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah, I mean. Like he's got himself to this position, and like why wouldn't anyone want to be in it? If anyone, it has to be him. You know, just his presence alone, I think it speaks volumes.
Yeah.
and how people talk about him, how other comics speak about him, you know.
And the gap for me is now got bigger as well between like him, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart.
Oh.
It's very clear.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy Tambourine. Some people enjoy, but I actually enjoy Tambourine from Chris Rock because he's always been like, and especially like he always has
Chris
been.
Rock
But there was
is
that
super
big
rich,
gap.
man.
There was that gap when Chappelle wasn't here, so Chris Rock was kind of our go-to for like the social political takes, innit?
Yeah.
But Dave does it in a different way, where it's like you can almost see the gap between them in terms of like the minds, how they work, and the breakdown. Chris Rock will say what we want to like. It worked, but like there's just a different layer to Chappelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I think it's bigger and blacker than Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Like going back.
Was that the one I saw on Comedy Central at the time?
Maybe, yeah. Iconic special from Chris Rock. Like I think since then, you know, that one is still my number one from Chris Rock.
Yeah.
But where Dave Chappelle is now, no one's in that space. No one's that fearless. But I think also Dave Chappelle doesn't have the distractions that these guys have.
No, he's
they
never
do
movies. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas Dave is like, no, I'm doing this.
Yeah,
as soon as I finish this, I'm doing this again.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's last one was where there's been
But the motherhood one, what's the one where he's like he loses the film?
The film. Oh, when the mum passes away.
Yeah.
I
where his
really
wife
enjoyed
passes
that film.
away.
Oh, not if I'm talking what you're saying, Kevin Hart. I'm talking about his stand up.
Oh, you're talking about
I'm
stand
saying
up.
like for him, it's been a little bit. Bro, he's still gonna do numbers and like it's crazy. He owns a lot of his stuff. Like the business side of his thing is crazy.
Yeah, he's
like,
patterned.
you always got to give him his credit in that. The Netflix one, but I was talking about the one just before that where he's in like the stage in the middle and he's in black.
Yeah.
Not in his house. That was one during
Oh,
COVID,
okay.
but the one before that when he's on stage. The last one on like in like an arena and stuff. That one for me didn't hit as much.
Yeah,
It felt
even
like
when
he
he
was-
came here, like I saw a lot of people.
I heard that people said they were playing laughter in the crowd and stuff. Like,
Oh, shit.
I don't know how true that is, but because you get like urban myths on Twitter and stuff, but like
Yeah,
they're
that's
playing
wild.
crowd noise and
Playing
stuff.
crowd. No, that don't make no sense.
You know,
If
so,
anything, you'd add laughter in post.
So
For me, I think people are too harsh on Kevin Hart, fam. Like, I enjoy Kevin Hart for what Kevin Hart is. Kevin Hart is gonna give you what he gives you. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't look at him and be like, you can't watch a Chappelle show and be like, yeah, Kevin Hart, you should do that.
no.
Kevin Hart's Kevin Hart, bro.
And sometimes like people
I
will
enjoy
go
him.
into something like vex.
Yeah, with the
Like you don't like him, but you're watching it.
just to go and slate him.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah, there's that as well. There's definitely
You're
that.
never gonna go in it with an open mind. Like you've already trained your mind not to laugh.
That's a lot of people that with this Chappelle. I can guarantee you a lot of that conversation online from people that community. I'm not mad at them. Is they've not watched the special.
Yeah,
Just going by the talk.
Yeah, they're talking about the talk. They've not actually watched it. And now I'm not mad at them for not watching it because you watched the others and felt offended. Cool, I wasn't surprised if you're not going to watch
lines
it.
like will be misquoted. They'll
Yeah.
you know.
But having a strong opinion about something you haven't watched is brazy.
yeah,
I just find it mad how people critique comedy with such harsh like venom. Like, it's just
Funny
if
subjective.
If
innit?
it makes you laugh, it makes you laugh. If it doesn't, no big deal. But people be like, "No, that was dead." Like, and be so passionate about it. I'm like, bro, you could have watched something else.
make me laugh.
Do you know what's funny? You said
Yeah,
about
it's-
Kevin about being super harsh here. So I was speaking about the last one where he was in an arena. The one where he did it from the house during COVID was probably the most racy he's been as of recent. And I enjoyed it in spots, but it wasn't well received. So he kind of like maybe went away from himself. Where the joke about calling his daughter a hoe and stuff. That's the racist you're gonna get from Kevin Hart, and he got bare backlash.
Yeah, and after
Hella
the
backlash.
whole clubhouse thing,
Yeah.
anything he did after that was just
Also, yeah, when your name isn't good in the streets, you can't do anything right at like your day job and stuff. Also, that doesn't help, innit? Because he don't help himself a little bit as well. Because honestly, I'm not going to talk about the Oscars. I saw him on interviews for like 30 days and 30 nights straight talking about the Oscars apology tour. So it's hard, innit? So
I think Kevin Hart for me is just one of those people that I just like.
but we love
I don't
Kevin,
have.
bro.
Yeah, no, but you know the ones there where it's just like, it's you, bro.
And also the
You know
peas,
what I mean?
the peas are so crazy, and that he's fine, innit?
I watch his movies,
Bro, he's good in the film.
I watched
The
them.
film's good.
like the one that I just referenced earlier on Netflix. I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
It's a good film, innit?
Yeah, it's a good
The one
film.
I always reference, the other one he did with where he's the carer for the paraplegic guy. That's a good film. Is it Bryan Cranston? Isn't it? That's a good film.
Yeah.
So and he's also doing more serious roles as well, and he's
Right.
doing well in them.
His accent's
Obviously,
getting-
Jumanji, all that stuff, your ride-alongs, Are We There, Yes and That.
Bro,
are
I
good.
went to watch Jumanji in the cinema and I enjoyed it.
And apparently they're bringing back Real Husbands of Hollywood. That, for me, is hilarious content. Mitch.
It needs to be like a feature film,
Or Real
or
Husbands.
like,
Your husband's.
or like Amazon pick it up or Netflix.
That'd be dope.
Mm.
I'll be mad at that.
Like BET, I don't have that much faith in them.
It gets lost over there a little bit.
Yeah,
Do Do you just to close the Dave conversation?
Yeah.
I know he said this is his last one for a while. Do you feel this like a bit of a money move where he's just trying to re-up with Netflix, or it is truly his last one? He's trying to go to like maybe another provider.
Things you never really know with Dave on the business side, because I don't think he's got necessarily a long history of business deals.
Yeah.
He is a pure stand-up. Like I said, he's on tour now, starting today in London.
Yeah.
And it's like, why you just dropped a special? You could just chill out if you wanted to. He
Yeah.
doesn't. He this is what he does. This is how he lives his life.
I think he's more so of a jackpot type of don.
What
So
do you
like
mean?
all his deals are huge, more so than like.
And also, is he not going to get the he's sorted out the stuff for the Chappelle show, so now he's going to start getting paid properly. So maybe he doesn't need to go and do.
This is it. He's not going to be out here doing appearances. You never see him on talk shows. You don't see him anywhere other
Yeah,
than
don't really do
stage.
interviews. He's going on podcasts now as well. So
That's
If
how
he
you
needs to
know the
talk, he's
bread
gonna-
is clean,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
when you
That's
know
the bread
that
is clean.
No
when you
question.
know that you don't have to do press
Mm.
and like your shows still become one of the most viewed or sold out shows,
Mm-hmm.
bro, like I'm gonna just be on stage and then carry on.
Mm.
Like there's a lot of comedians or any entertainer that would love to live that way.
Facts.
Don't have to do the extra shit. I'm just showing up to do my job,
I just get to be me.
getting the bread, and I'm out.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. Yeah, you're saying about freedom. That definitely feels like a free man, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. It's admirable.
Would you be prepared to give any scores out of 10 for the special?
I kind of thing is that I mean it's not something I do. I said earlier, it's art,
Yeah.
and that's how I look at specials. Do you know what I mean? I
Okay.
try not to do the whole that was better than this one. I
Review
choose my
and give it a
favorite, yeah.
number.
But like the reviewing of comedy, it irks me, bruv, because some brother who don't do nothing. Do you know what I mean? Like man's writing this thing and he's like, yeah, 3 out of 5 stars. Like who the fuck are you, bruv?
Yeah,
know what I
but
mean? Like-
anything that's out
No,
there
I
has
hear
to be
that, and it's
rated and reviewed.
No, I hear that.
But
and
do
it's
you
like,
do you
there's a
respect their
space for it.
opinion less if the person is like we critique stuff on this, so like I'm never done stand up in it.
Mm.
You know, we be funny sometimes on here,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I could never go in that. Like
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never do that to myself in it because I'm bombing in 2 minutes. Like, do you just think okay, cool? They haven't done it, so maybe I don't respect their
it's
opinion
not.
as much, or
It's one of them things where it's like for me, I'm saying I look at these reviews and I'm like, bro, like, bun these reviews, bro. Did you enjoy it or not? The comedy is made to either make you think or to make you laugh. But like some of the reviews and the way these men approach the reviews is so much venom. I'm like, bro, this guy's not a world leader, you know.
does it sound like you don't like man or something? Or,
Yeah, like
I
a lot of
hear
this stuff
that,
is
I hear that.
personal. Like I've even with my own, and obviously my own bias is coming into it as well because I've seen reviews where man they just don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The reviewer,
Or they don't get the references.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember what was, I think it might have been after Culture Clash, and there was an article come out and it was talking about the whole
Wheel-ups.
stopping and rewinding the
You
song
see what I'm saying?
because they don't understand the culture.
Fam,
Yeah, that journalist got cooked.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying.
because if they understood the culture, they'll know that that wasn't like a
Thank
glitch
you.
in the audio and production. That is intentional because we're feeling the music.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I hate. Yeah, there is credence to what you're saying still.
Yeah,
Because if you don't get the cultural references, then how can you really like enjoy and critique this thing?
that's right. And also, if you hate, man,
Yeah,
this review is leading.
Also, listen,
the
I'm like I used to always be like, oh yeah, you've got to be objective. Everyone's got their biases. I've got my biases. It can be as simple as when I'm critiquing music, I like bars and cruddy music. That's my bias. We all have biases.
Yeah.
We just got to be honest about them
Yeah.
when you're having some of these conversations. So at least people know where you're coming from. You know, it kind of maybe takes away your power a little bit because people go, okay, cool, that's why my man's saying that. But bro, everyone's got biases.
Yeah, it's like, for example, Davechappelle got 3 out of 5 in one of his specials, but on Rotten Tomatoes, like 100%.
I heard that. Yeah.
So
Wow.
when the people talk, I like the people talking.
The streets.
Yeah, get on Twitter and everybody, you can see what the vibe is. You know, such a hashtag or whatnot.
Yeah.
When you get $1 writes a review and it's like, yeah, I didn't like it, bro. How are you more important than these people?
I hear that.
Yeah, no, it's funny with the Dave thing. I was even reading an article coming here, and the family giving Dave full support, full support, saying he was an ally. That's how we look at him. Definitely a friend of Daphne and stuff. So
Yeah.
bro, it's
There's
one
no
of these-
more validation than that.
Bro, I don't want to do
Goodbye
it now,
or
but
not.
like I've got all the screenshots. Like I was reading one article, I think on Daily Beast and that, and I think the sister were just going in, just saying like, this is who Dave was to her. He's an ally. It wasn't this, and also like homegirl liked dark humor and that. Because also you can't take away. Some people enjoy certain things,
Yeah.
you know, and they might be actually the silent majority.
Well, which is what I was
Because-
saying
because
to you
the
earlier.
online
Like,
stuff
don't
is the
apologize
loud
for what makes
minority.
you laugh. You can't
But
apologize
in
for what
the
makes you laugh.
reality is the streets. If you go and check the numbers, people are thoroughly enjoying this. So what's really? Where's the outrage really?
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you, bro. Like,
Go on, sorry.
you can't apologize with what makes you laugh. Like, laughter is one of the most natural things.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
if you don't find anything funny, your body won't react.
No,
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, your body won't react. It's how it communicates.
Dave's on the irony.
With the leather pants. Yeah, no, but yeah, laughter is just one of those natural reactions where
Yeah.
if how it's interpreted by your brain, you'll react to it by laughing.
Straight, it's involuntary.
To like, you know, so there's certain aspects of it like where people are gonna enjoy it thoroughly. There's gonna be people that enjoy moments of it, and there's gonna be people that won't enjoy it at all.
And I think all of it is okay.
Yeah,
No, it's literally that simple, man. It's that simple. So
doesn't have to generate outrage from you not enjoying it.
yeah,
Just turn it off, bro.
I only asked that question about the out of 10 thing just because that's we generally have those comments. Sometimes Dan Vans will be like, "I ain't got a school fee today," or
Fair enough.
it's too soon. Sometimes it's that simple,
yeah.
innit? So it's just something we rightly or wrongly kind of need somewhere to gauge stuff and like.
Yeah.
That's the mood or that's the feeling. You know, that's why you get those scores. Like a 3 out of 5 is brazen, but said if the streets are saying it's this and there's a 100% Rotten Tomatoes, who are you listening to, innit? So it's what you kind of give credence to. It's like that time when Wale had the issue, it might have been complex.
Yeah,
I mean, Jay-Z was saying to him like, if you don't respond, you respond is giving them power.
he hasn't learnt.
Yeah.
Nah.
But some people can't leave it alone, innit? Because it's also if it's your thing, you get passionate
It's
about it, innit?
emotional.
Yeah.
Because if man were cooking this podcast and that, I've only got a certain amount of restraint. I'm sorry. I've only got a certain amount of restraint. Vans is super laid back. I've only got a certain amount of restraint. So I'm going to say something eventually.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Oh, my days, bro.
When I